Guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on the test account, and even though we just got land, we do have the new Wilder, of course, which is up on the patch notes. But in addition, that means that looking at the charts and looking at the calendar, the next one should be an Awakened Hero. So make sure you're saving those time emblems because that is going to be coming. Now, we also know that Summer Delights actually came up today. So I want to see exactly what this is. And they're giving us a free copy of land. Now, of course, this is good, and the caveat to this is, as you can see, they're giving us 888 diamonds every single day. Very last chest is going to be a copy of land, so very similar that we've seen to Hildwyn. Don't know if they're going to be offering us any additional copies of the Highborn, but honestly, looking at the compensation, looking at this, and even thinking of Lan herself, it seems like it might be a really good hero to have, even at base, just being a Draconic hero, but also being a support hero. So I was hoping maybe I would come in here and thinking that now the new event was up, that we'd have another copy of land, but unfortunately we don't, but we are getting that free copy in here. And of course, we're getting diamonds. I mean, we're getting 6 days of 888 diamonds, but of course, when it comes to these, and when it comes to the Draconic heroes in general, we've talked about this quite a bit, the Dragon Isle. This is the absolute #1 most expensive thing that we have ever seen. And then, of course, going in here, the Draconic supplies, they're giving us 1. Now, honestly, they need to give us the ability to either use diamonds for this or an ability to get these insignias within the shop itself, the store. Or they also need to possibly look at opening up the Field of Stars, putting a little bit more into the star over here. You know, all of these are not used right now, but these could be for Draconic heroes. A lot of players are also saying these could be used, and they're going to be used for tier 5 gear. I don't know exactly what that would look like. So again, this could be honestly the Draconic, because even right here, we are getting the Dragon Speak emblems. They could take this one specifically, which is kind of funny because if you look in the back of the star, it is an anchor, but they could actually use this for all of the Draconic heroes in their entirety, which I would love to see. And again, this could be the piece or the abilities that we get within here to build out a lot more of the Draconic heroes and build them out a lot faster. Because I even think looking at the Dragon Isles and thinking kind of big picture. So when you start looking at big picture, and we'll do some summons in here, is big picture when we start getting a couple more heroes in here. You figure Cassius and Paulina, because of their utility, not really being used very much. Players are going to drop them out of the wish list because, again, we're looking at the primary heroes that we want to build, the heroes that have a lot of utility. With Cassius and Paulina out of there, that means in the Dragon Forge, you're not going to be making as much progression because you don't have some of the Draconic heroes built out. And of course, without having those Draconic heroes built out, again, kind of the catch-22, you're not going to have the ability to level up the Dragon Forge, so you're not going to make any room. So they're almost got us in a bad way that we have to use, and we do have to build these out, which again is kind of crappy, but in the same manner, like I said, it's kind of a necessity. A lot of players are ignoring the Draconic heroes, and again, the cost of these heroes to get the elite copies, it is really just a very, very stupid cost. Now, Melion, of course, is out in the current event that we have going on, so if you want to pick up a copy of Melion, don't know the effectiveness of getting 1 copy, but honestly, I have him at Mythic, and I'm using him for quite a bit. I am actually using him quite a bit in a couple different places, tried some different formations, so he works even under being ascended, and it is the exact same thing with land. We are seeing land that is being built and really being utilized even under ascended. And as you can see here, it's kind of interesting because land went ahead and jumped right past the popular heroes. So essentially, a lot of players are building and have summoned land. As you can see, Nyla is really the primary one. Hildwyn, this is kind of, again, a sticking point because you can see how high the score is. But with Hildwyn, players have him because we got him free. So that's really a big thing when it comes to the popularity. And then, of course, land in here. Now, I don't know if these are really using it. So Hildwyn's in the campaign. And, of course, looking across this, you're going to see him everywhere, because we got him for free. That again is kind of the big thing. And even looking here, Nyla, Gwen, Hildwyn, looking at Melion and looking at Lan, they're being used, and they're going to be used. Even Lan in the current formations that we have are being used a lot. So a lot of players were also wondering, what does it look like for the heroes itself? So if you've been playing, and I really want to break it down just kind of based on the heroes. So if you've been playing for AFK Arena for a while, if you got some of the Draconic heroes, and again, another question I get, who should I focus on building? My opinion, guys, I would definitely build Nyla. Now, looking at Nyla, first, second, fourth, fifth, then of course a little bit further, they're even ranking her in the King's Tower and a couple other places where unfortunately she's not even being able to be used. You can also see what artifact player, or excuse me, what collection players are putting on there. And then of course, what is the recommended build for this hero specifically? Very, very important to note. Now, of course, again, Nyla is the big one to build out of the Highborns. In my opinion, when it comes to the Highborns, I would build out Gwen, and Gwen would be the first one that I'm looking at building out for the simple fact, and look at that, the collection is 100% the Judgment Armor. But when you start looking at the formations that we have her in, even looking down here in the, and I'm not sure it doesn't show the rest of the formations in here, but the formations that she is in, it is either you have a group and you are building Gwen, or you don't have a group and you're not building Gwen. That's it. There is no even point of it. But even looking utility-wise, I would probably build out Gwen. Hildwyn, again, we're getting Ascended free versions. We know that Hildwyn is also coming from the patch notes, so you'll have another copy coming, which will take a majority of players up to Hildwyn being Ascended. I know you don't have enough for the engraving, you don't have that star in there, but honestly, I would build out Gwen if you have more, and if you want to build more, I would build out Lan after that. Remember, Meleon is just the regular summons. Same with Nyla, the regular summons. And even thinking of the summons itself is wishlist heroes, guys, dropping these two out. Now, the reason why I did not actually drop those two out is I'm at the point, even on the YouTube account, that we're using them as food. They are going to be food, so I'm trying to get more copies of them and honestly build up a little bit of a stockade of food. That way I don't have to sacrifice Gorgie to build Gorgie higher. And of course, if we get enough food, we can use just 2 copies of Gorgie to get the Legendary Plus, which is going to make a big difference when you're building them up. But ultimately, guys, these are the 2 that you want. And then within the Dragon Temple itself, I would build out Gwen. Gwen would be my first priority. Even though you got Hildwyn, you're getting him for free. But we're going to have to wait and see where Lan and how Lan is being used, of course, in formations, because we have 3 Highborn now. But then the question also is kind of poised, when are we going to see the next Draconic hero? That, again, is a really, really big question mark. Again, like we talked about, the next hero should be an Awakened hero based on the scheduling. But overall, what is it going to look like, and what is the next one going to essentially look like? So let's just summon, see if maybe we can get a copy of Gwen. Now, also, with these summons, you have to note right off the bat that it is taking a lot of summons. So a majority of players, when they're doing the summons in here, are getting to the pity pool, or are getting to that 65 summons almost every time. We are seeing it almost on a regular basis, almost like they made this rate a little bit lower. So even when you start looking at the rate for the hero is at 2% through the probability. But as you can see, we just used 45 summons with a 2% probability. A lot of players are either one, getting to the pity, or they're getting to the point where they're not getting Gwen and they're getting less than 2%. So again, mathematically, that's what they're running. When you start kind of scaling the numbers, it seems incredibly difficult to build these heroes. And like I said earlier, if you don't build the heroes, you're not going to have anything to do here in the Dragon Forge. It's literally going to sit right here because you're not going to get any points out of this game mode, and so on and so forth. It's really going to hurt your progression. But again, a lot of players are dropping the Draconic heroes in their entirety. So, all right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.